It will be from Dr. Arman Sayuti. Dr. Arman is a wildlife veterinarian from the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine from the Syakwala University in the province of Aceh, Indonesia. He graduated in 1998 as a doctor of veterinary medicine, and since 2000, Dr. Arman has been a lecturer at the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine in the Veterinary Surgery Department. In 2004, he received a master's degree from the Gajah Mada University, and since 2015, Dr. Arman is a senior veterinarian at the Center for Wildlife Study from the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine at Syakwala University in Aceh Province, Indonesia. Today, the presentation will be about medical treatment activities of Sumatran elephants at the Elephant Training Center in Aceh Province, Indonesia. And the presentation will be pre-recorded, but Dr. Arman will be available to answer questions. So thank you, and we can go ahead with the presentation.
Thank you very much for ASEAN Elephant Support, special for Ibu Heidi as the program manager, and my respect for Life Trust India. Thank you very much for inviting me to participate in this webinar, and my respect to ladies and gentlemen who attended this webinar. I am Arman Sayuti from Syakwala University. Today, I will try to present about medical treatment activity of Sumatran elephant at the Elephant Training Center, Aceh Province, Indonesia. This is an activity of the Wildlife Study Center, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Syakwala University, and Aceh Conservation and Resources Agency, BKSDA Aceh. I will present two cases on elephant that we handle at our Elephant Training Center. The first is umbilical hernia in Sumatran elephant, and the second is management of steel wire snare wound and management of injury treatment of wild Sumatran elephant. In Aceh Province, we have 7 CRU, and we place the captive elephant in there. And we have 1 elephant training center. Currently in Indonesia, we have 2,500 wild elephant and 500 captive elephant. On the island of Sumatra itself, we have 5 animals as a flagship species, namely the Sumatran elephant, Sumatran tiger, Sumatran rhinoceros, Sumatran orangutan, and Tapanuli orangutan. The most frequent conflict between wildlife and human is wildlife that caught in snare for, usually the snare used for wild boar, like a trap. Yeah, for example, you can see in my slide, a female tiger rescue from Aceh Singkil was released in Gunung Loser National Park, Aceh Province, following complete medical treatment including flu therapy. Very interested in this case because there was collision when I go to rescue the location. So you can see bandage on my face, so that in the night the doctor was given infusion or given IV drip for me, but the next day I got a tiger IV drip, or I give the infusion for a tiger. Yeah, this slide you can see a female Sumatran elephant about 7 years old. We got with the trap in East Aceh, and the same with this case. This is a male elephant trapped in East Aceh, maybe about 9 years old. And you can see in the next slide a bear. This is a bear was trapped in South Aceh and immediately released into the wild because cannot see the injury in this bear. Yeah, you can see in this slide uh, about the bear too. In this slide, the bear rescue in the North Aceh and cannot be released into the wild due to its medical condition requiring limb amputation. Which will compromise its survival in a natural habitat. Usually, our student in our faculty can join to study in the emergency room or in the surgery room when we get the case like this. However, on daily basis on officially they the student can follow us when we visit the elephant training center in Sare to carry out the treatment if maybe sometime the elephant get the sick or for our routine activity such as vaccination or anti-helmintic for the elephant. Okay, this is the case number one that what I want to present it. Case number one, the title is abdominal hernia in a Sumatran elephant, Elephas maximus sumatranus. This is a male elephant, 48-year-old, and body weight is about 2,527 kilogram of body weight. This is from Alukoyon CRU in Melabo. The pathology of abdominal hernia is a combination of abdominal wall defects due to obstruction of the collagen which cause intra-abdominal abscess. And abdominal hernia handling is based on size defect, comorbidity, and skin structure to obtain a good repairment. But there are a few report about hernia. There are 4 reports available on abdominal hernia handling in elephant. Some of them are Singh, Abu Madi, Whitner, and Miguel. They make the report about the abdominal hernia in the elephant. But in elephant, umbilical herniography is rarely performed due to difficulty of surgery unless pathological indication and infection are clearly visible. But very, very different when compared to hernia in a cat and a dog. In this case, conservative methods and the use of support equipment were applied to treat abdominal hernia for maybe until 2 months. Treatment for abdominal hernia, schematically or theoretically, is by suturing the peritoneum with the non-absorbable thread, simple interrupted pattern. After that, sticking the bridgement of the musculus with absorbable thread. Then sticking the skin with non-absorbable thread, simple interrupted pattern. But in this case, this strategy was not an option due to the highly infected wound and due to the high pressure which would have led to rupture of any suture. The anamnesis of this case was in an adult captive male Sumatran elephant with an age of about 30 years old. when we know the anamnesis is when the mahot or keeper reported that the captive elephant had been attacked by wild elephant which had caused injury at the ventral abdomen by a tusk. So, the diagnosis is two injury on the ventral abdomen were found. The first one was about 13 centimeter long incision in the umbilical area, cutting through subcutaneous tissue and part of the musculus of the abdominal wall. Stress from the intra-abdominal pressure and gravity caused the herniation of intestine through the wound opening. And the second one was about 15 long incision of skin and subcutis in the inguinal area, but had not penetrated musculus of the abdominal wall. And the prognosis is based on physical condition. Elephant did not show pathological indication. The prognosis was considered Fausta. For the therapy just we use the conservative approach, repositioning with the pressure bandage. And in this slide, you can see bulges all around umbilicalis region with show animal having a hernia. After we bring this elephant to the elephant training center, my college do sticking or heading to withhold the abdominal pressure, but this is did not success because lose the thread. But we make a plan to make a dressing, and we use the tropical medicine for therapy. And in this picture you can see when we use the support of equipment on herniated region. This support system did not work perfectly as planned, but it is wrinkled and folded forward to the front area. This picture, when we discuss with Mahot and how we preparation of support equipment using the metal frame. This is the metal frame for saddle from the old saddle, to attach the support to the lower part of the abdomen. And the use of saddle was not effective because it caused some trauma of the elephant back. So it was decided to revise the system again and use a fabric support of the back, the same dressing on the elephant's and this is condition after installation of support, which was hooked to the back, so that support doesn't wrinkle again. We use of topical medication in the dressing because the dirt was found. You see, you can see here, the dirt was found due to the natural nature of elephant who pick up soil and then throw it on her body. The support was replaced every morning and evening to prevent the wound were still clean with iodine tincture every day. and the support was installed for until 2 months. The elephant health was monitoring daily, and nutritional intake was carried out according to the standard. In the fact, there were many open wounds on the elephant due to the stabbing of the wild elephant tusk, but only one stabbing on the abdomen caused a hair. In this case, apart from medical drug, we also use turmeric powder, the herbal, because based on experience, turmeric powder is able to absorb the foaming pus and will immediately dry out when irrigated with the water. And the conclusion of this case, the elephant recovery state show normal physiology without a further pathological condition. And during the healing period, elephants are not allowed to do the exercise activity and monitoring and intake of standard diet. One of which is a fiber diet to meet a tissue repair. And the current situation, the elephant is able to perform normal activities, carrying out a forest patrol and human and elephant conflict activity. Okay, this picture showing the connective tissue was performed, and this is the present condition. This elephant when we used to relocation the wild elephant. So this elephant present condition. And maybe this is the last for case number 1. In this case, we use drug ketamine dose 0.05 milligram per kilogram of body weight, and xylazine 0.1 milligram per kilogram of body weight. But this anesthesia we only use during the emergency treatment. When stitching initially was tried to be applied, and we use the oxytetracycline long-acting for antibiotic. The dose is 15 milligram per kilogram body weight. We use flunixin meglumine for painkiller 1 milli per 45 kilogram body weight. We use bioplacenton, placenta extract, and neomycin sulfate. We use Cigna externum, and we use bornazine to the skin, to his wound. Bornazine is a silver sulfathiazine. We use Cigna externum too, the same with bioplacenton, and we use the turmeric powder for herbal. So this is the case number 2. The title is management of steel wire snare wound and management of injury treatment in wild Sumatran elephant of Bener Meriah, the central of Aceh. And this is a wild elephant, male, 8-year-old estimate, was diagnosed with an acute accidental injury due to snare of steel cable in the distal right front leg. For this slide, A wild elephant was discovered with a wire rope thickly wound around its body, causing a deep injury that reached the bone. Uh, Upon a closer examination, the team confirmed the entanglement. We had difficulty in handling this snare because the steel rope used was very large, maybe almost as big as my thumbs. So we couldn't use a plier to cut it, but could cut it bit by bit. And this is the injury appears to be an old wound, maybe estimate around 4 until 6 months old. The rescue team employ a captive elephant to safely pull the injured elephant from the forest and bring to the our elephant training center. What for a treatment in the elephant training center. The elephant appeared severely emaciated, so we perform blood tests and administrated the IV fluid for infusion. After that, we give the antibiotic, we give the painkiller, and we give the supportive treatment. And during the translocation from the forest, the elephant were raised at the river where they could drink and cool off before continuing the elephant journey. And you can see here we using a training captive elephant as the assist animal. The rescue team safely guided and loaded the wild elephant onto transport truck for relocation to the center of elephant training center, I mean. At the elephant training center, staff monitoring the wound, after that cleaning and dressing the injury, after that administrated the medication, and provide specialized specialist nutrition to promote the healing of the wound. And you can see the wound was treated every day, in the morning and in the evening. And in addition to standard medication, we apply turmeric powder to support wound healing, leveraging its natural anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties. Daily wound management include cleansing and eliminated pus and foreign contamination. And as a part of the comprehensive health evaluation, we conducted week monitoring and body conditional index and hematological analysis to assess the elephant physiological condition. And the elephant showed remarkable recovery after 6 months, with previously severe wound not completely healed, leaving only scar tissue as evidence of the injury. Okay. This slide maybe about the drug when we use. In this case, we use the ketamine 0.05 milligram per kilogram of body weight, and we use silazine 0.1 milligram per kilogram body weight. But ketamine and silazine usually we combination and only use during rescue for transportation and urgent situation. And then we use oxytetracycline long acting for antibiotic. Dose is 15 milligram per kilogram of body weight. We use the flunixin meglumine for a painkiller. The dose is 1 milli per 45 milligram per 45 kilogram of body weight. And we use bioplacental. Bioplacental is a placental extract and neomycin sulfate for topical. Cigna use externum, and we use burnazine. Burnazine is silver sulfadiazine for topical too, and use Cigna use externum. Usually bioplacental and burnazine we combination and we use for topical use. And then we use turmeric powder for herbal. And for this case, because the injury healthy is very long time, we use the amoxicillin based 150 milligram. We use GMOX 15% long acting for injection as the antibiotic. And the last, maybe this is the last slide. I want to talk Arnold Sleman. The handling of this case would not have been possible without the support from our wildlife veterinary teamwork. And in this time, I want to talk special thanks to staff of the Elephant Training Center, SARE, and Mahut, who always assisted in the field and implemented most of the daily treatment. And special thanks to veterinarian from Aceh Conservation and Resources Agency, BKSDA Aceh. And finally, the special thanks I want to talk to my team in Wildlife Ambulan at the Center for Wildlife Study, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Siak Kuala University. And finally, I would like to express my gratitude for the attention of all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Dr. Arman, for the wonderful presentation and great work that you have been just doing. Now it's question time. There is a question for you from Muhammad Abdul Razak. Is it recommended to use Ceftiofur for wound treatment if we don't have access Oxytect or Amox?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. And you can see you can hear my sound?
Yeah.
Okay. I think, in my opinion, that's possible to use because in our country maybe we cannot find Very rarely when we need the SF3 or 4. But if oxytetracycline, amoxicillin, maybe we can find it. Yeah, very possible, I think.
Okay. There is any more questions, maybe you can just type in. Meanwhile, I would like to just read the previous questions for recording purpose and also the answers so that it will be there in the YouTube. Okay, the question is, this is for Dr. Bhaskar. Do you have any experience feeding free? That's already answered. And then, okay, the question is, who has the authority to decide whether a rescued elephant calf should be released, kept in permanent captivity? The answer is the Chief Wildlife Warden of the state, as per Wildlife Protection Act 1972. And there is another question from Dr. Ganga. What is the legal penalties for the illegal capture of elephant calves? The answer is 7 to 10 years of imprisonment and fine up to 1 lakh is the answer. The next question for Dr. Bhaskar from Dr. Varun. What are the timings protocols, translocation of elephant calves? Okay, I don't know whether it is answered or not. Maybe I'll just read out the next one. Thank you so much for the amazing, this is from Melody, Dr. Melody. Thank you very much for the amazing presentation. Really amazing work. Can I ask what reason is for milk withdrawal in elephant calves with diarrhea? In other species, there is evidence that infants that continue to receive milk during diarrhea recover faster than when it's withdrawn. The answer from Dr. Bhaskar is it depends on what milk the calf's receiving. If it is an artificial formula, diarrhea in composition from the natural mother, I think it is better to stop it and ensure the gut microbe is stabilized. And there is also another question from Dr. Varun to Dr. Bhaskar. Can we give xylazine as sedatives for elephant calves? And the answer is yes, at 0.008 mg per kilogram for the sedation. And one more question for Dr. Bhaskar from Dr. Adityan. Can you briefly explain the treatment used for EEHV in calves? The answer is the EEHV treatment protocol published by EEHV Asia Working Group is a protocol followed by that. Okay, now it's a question to Dr. Arman from Anna Maria. Where can we buy bioplacental?
Yeah, in our country, usually bioplacental used for human too. That is content placenta extract. Very, very good for granulation and reepithelialization in the wound. I think the bioplacental is local product from Indonesia. But if the content of placenta of extract or and neomycin sulfate, maybe you can use the other drug. Yeah.
இதுவரைக்கும் நான் பேசுனதெல்லாம் கேட்டுச்சா? Thank you so much, Dr. Arman. There is one more question for you. Maybe no, that's just Anna Maria is just thanking you. There is one question for Dr. Bhaskar. It's from Mohammed Abdul Razak. Is it recommended to use? Oh, that is not answered. So that's why I just left it. Okay, maybe we'll just get it later. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. And now I hand over the session to Dr. Heidi Riddle for her comments and conclusion. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, and thank you to all the presenters and everyone who logged in today. As Daniel said, at the beginning, this will be available on YouTube, and we will circulate the link so you can listen to it if you were not able to join the entire webinar today. And there's other webinars also that are also available. The recordings will be available. And if you have any questions, please let us know, and we can always forward them to the presenters and get your questions answered. The next webinar will be probably in another 2 months, probably end of June, early July, something along those lines. But you're all on the list if you've registered, and so you'll be getting the notifications of when the next webinar will be and what the topics will be at the time. So again, thank you very much to all the presenters. Dr. Arman, thank you very much. Really appreciate you logging in, and also Dr. Bhaskar and the veterinarians from Sri Lanka. So thank you very much to everyone.
I can just say something real quick, and that is
Yes.
thank you. The 3 programs tonight were really, really interesting and very well done. And looks like we had a good attendance. And I see some faces I know, and I see a lot of names that I'd like to end up knowing sometime. But anyhow, it was really great. And all of these presentations, they're also on the Asian Elephant Support website under education. So can't find them anywhere else, you can go there and they'll all be listed, okay? But thank you, everyone. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you,
Very
Ibu
good.
Linda. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.